In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the vintage Singer attachment, the Ruffler. This is a side clamping ruffler. They also came in back clamping style for the older 66 machines. And I'm going to show you this on the 1947 Singer model 6616. And that's the Ruffler. The first thing I'm doing is I'm taking off the regular straight stitch foot by loosening that screw right there. Sometimes you have to take them all the way out, and I'll move that out of the way. And as you can see, there's a similar type of attachment end on this part of the Ruffler, and you go in between the needle and the presser foot bar. But what you have to do when you do this, see this hook area here? This has to go over the needle clamp, which is on the right of the needle. So I'm over the needle clamp with the hook. I lean this toward the back and put it in position like that. And then as I tighten this up, it will straighten itself out. It's probably easiest to have the needle at the highest position when you do this. I'm not left-handed, I'm right-handed, so I want to make sure this is tight. Now it actually looks a little crooked to me, and I don't know why that would have happened, so let me straighten it out. I just have it going over too far to the back. Because it sits on the needle clamp there, I'm going to hold it like that. I was going to say, because it sits on the needle clamp, it's turning to this side. It could be that I'm trying to over tighten it. Let me just check. And here's the answer. I had it down too far on the screw. It was over the needle bar, but I had it down too far on the screw that I just couldn't see. So now as I tighten it up, it won't turn like that. It's very simple. It's just something I missed. So you will see on the side here, there are two blades that are a different color. They are like a bluish color. And the fabric is going to go in between those two blades. And I didn't press this fabric. This is just plain muslin. And in the Singer sewing book from 1969, it tells you different things that you can do with the Ruffler. But to make just regular ruffles, the first thing you do is you need the fabric in between those two blue blades, like that. And because this is a ruffle that is just a simple ruffle, it's really the third line of metal from the front back. It's a little finger thing that sticks out, and you want to put the fabric under that. So there is your fabric in the Ruffler, and this is the finger I meant right there, because you have that area under there. So once you get your fabric in the Ruffler like that, you lower the presser foot, and you should be able to just start ruffling. There are adjustments. Different rufflers have different ways of adjusting. This one is a simple one and only has the one adjusting screw. Others will have a lever on the front here, And you'd really have to go by the directions for the type that you have, other than, in this case, because it's a simple one, I'm just using the screw to adjust it. And right now I don't know what it's set at. I'm also, because this is an old Ruffler, I'm not sure if it's going to work correctly or smoothly. So we're going to find out. The machine is plugged in. The presser foot is down. My needle, I can see, is going in the space for a needle on the Ruffler, so it's not going to hit any metal or anything. And let's see what it does. Now this is obviously going to be an adjustment. Look at this. This is wonderful. Look at this. I have to adjust it because it got caught there. But look at that. Once I got past that point, this is wonderful. Unbelievable how simple that is. If I had had this when I was making my curtains, look at that. What I used to do is do 2 long rows of a machine basting stitch, and then pull the basting threads to adjust the gathers. Now this is the area right here where the Ruffler was going at its own speed, and that came out wonderfully. So that is how you use the Ruffler to make at least the plain ruffles. And if you get that book, the Singer Sewing Book from 1969, either at the library or if you buy your own copy, it does have more information in there on the different things that you can do with a Ruffler. What I'm going to try is I'm going to adjust that one adjusting screw, and I'm going to turn it to the left, which I would think would make the ruffles further apart. Now I've oiled this because it was an old part. I have oiled it and cleaned it up a little bit. But you have to be careful with old parts, and the fabric that you're using. Always do a test on a scrap piece of fabric, because especially you might get little areas of rust coming off of an old attachment. This one, it was rusty, and at the very beginning there are a couple of marks of rust, but other than that there aren't. Now on that it skipped a little bit. And it actually, oh, my needle came out. That's what the problem was. So that I'll have to be careful of. The action of the Ruffler on the needle clamp loosened the needle. So when you use this or any of the old attachments, you have to make sure that everything is tightened and in place before you start. I happen to wear glasses, so if that needle had broken and flown off somewhere, my eyes would have been protected from my glasses, but you always want to be aware of that. And this appears to be an old needle, which I hadn't checked yet, so I'll make sure to put a new needle in the machine now. But even with those problems, where the needle became loose, it still made ruffles. So that is the vintage Singer Ruffler on a 1947 Singer Model 6616. This is a view of what I guess would be called the back side, and this is how that hook sits on the needle clamp. And you can see that became loose, and it should not have. I maybe didn't have it tight enough, but it should not have come loose just from this going up and down against it. There are a few old attachments that actually sit on the needle clamp like that. So I will have to tighten that up, put a new needle in, tighten it all up, and then I'll do it again. I had used one of these Rufflers I think many years ago, but then I kind of forgot about it. And like I said, if everything is tight on the machine and you don't run into that needle problem, which shouldn't happen, it really is a nice little attachment.